Hello everybody, today we are going to be unboxing the NZXT Kraken Elite 360 RGB, and boy does this thing look pretty. You know, previously I've unboxed the Kraken Z73 and they've definitely stepped up their game and in terms of liquid cooling, and this thing looks absolutely breathtaking. But before we get to the unboxing, let's go ahead and take a brief look on the outside of the box. So right on the front, we have a quick look at what this thing is going to look like in again, it looks beautiful. And you know, and then we also got the whopping price of this thing, and don't worry, I didn't buy this. All right, but yeah, let's take a quick look at the sides of this thing, see what we got there, if y'all can read any of that. So in the box, we have the Kraken Elite 360 AIO liquid cooler. We also have the F360 RGB core fan. And it looks like we have some installation accessories and a breakout cable set. Very, very nice. And then we just have some, I know it's hard to see, I can't really move it to where it's right in front of y'all, but there's some dimensions of all the stuff that's being used, as well as some information about the pump, the tubing, and just the material that is used, which is very, very nice to know when you're talking about liquid cooling. And then we just have some different languages that this thing is available in. So yeah, all right, moving on to the back, we have some information again about this thing again. So we have powered by turbine, the cutting edge NZXT turbine pump delivers an impressive fusion of high pressure and high flow rate for unmatched cooling performance. You know, I've used plenty of NZXT coolers, liquid coolers in the past, and I love them. You know, they're very, very nice, so shout out to them. Circle of light, turn the RGB LED ring around the pump cap into color, clock, image, extension, and more. So that's just showing you all the things that you can change that little LCD or LED screen into. We have a simple setup. NZXT RGB core single frame fan unit requires just one connector. No need for multiple fan connectors. I'm happy to hear that. You know, I'm happy to hear that for when we build this thing. Come on. Stunning screen, ultra bright 2.72 inch IPS LCD with 640 by 640 resolution at 60 hertz refresh rate. You know, you could play some CSGO on that thing, or at least the original, the original CSGO. Showcases vibrant visuals, very nice. And then we have endless expression, personalized on-screen contact with GIFs, images, system info, web integrations, and more. All right, so that is everything that is on the outside of the box. So now for the moment y'all have all been waiting for, let's open up this bad boy. Let's get it. Let's get it, son. So we'll start by just popping off that film. I probably should have just took off this film to begin with so y'all could actually read everything a lot better instead of having the shiny stuff covering everything. That's my fault. I should have thought ahead, but you know, we're already at this point. All right, look at this thing. It looks even more pretty. It looks even more. All right, so let's open it up now. Here we go. Wow. Wowzers. Okay. So it looks like we have the radiator on this side as well as the three fans right here, and then the actual pump and other cables. So it comes with this little manual, which is definitely needed. This thing is kind of difficult, I feel like. Ooh, they've changed up their cables quite a bit, which is interesting. I'm looking forward to figuring that out. You know, so we have that cable, which is sort of all connected. It looks like we have a Intel mounting kit right here, and then we have other mounting accessories, and there's probably also, yeah, an AMD kit right there. So you got two different kits because it can be used for either AMD or Intel. All right, so we'll put those to the side. And then pulling this thing out, if I can. Oh my goodness, this thing is massive. Holy. Okay, so, oh, what the heck? Yo, they are stepping up their game. What the frick? Yo, usually on their old coolers or their old AIOs, there were three separate fans that you would have to mount. But they've stepped up their game and it's just one solid block, which is very interesting. You know, you could always still have your own fans that you want to put in this thing, which I doubt you would because this thing you paid for the RGB on it. But you could always still mount those things, I'm assuming, as long as the previous holes, which were on the old radiators, are still there. We'll have to see. But oh my, Okay, so that's the connector that they were talking about, the one fan connector, which makes a lot more sense now. Okay, so that is the fans right there. All right, let's pull out the pump now and the radiator. Oh my goodness. Y'all are gonna see why I was so shocked in a second. Let me move this box out the way. Okay, so here we have the pump and radiator, the fans, each of the kits, the cables, and the instruction manual, and that is everything that comes inside of the box. So let's go ahead and go over the actual pump real quick, and you're about to see why I was freaking out. Look how massive this thing is. This is my hand. This is my hand right here. Bro, this thing used to be like that big. Oh my goodness. That is absolutely massive. I'm just so taken aback by that, bro. Let's see if they changed the radiators as well. And those tubes are also a lot more thick. All right. Okay, good. So if you did want to mount different fans, you could still do that. But wow. Holy crap. You know, the radiator honestly got smaller, but that's probably because they've improved on the, I guess, on the efficiency of the actual radiator. And then there's a plug. Oh my God, don't tell me. Yo, NZXT, you're about to make me freaking cry. So originally on the older coolers, you would have to pop in a plug right here, a plug right here, and I think it was 3 cables or 2 cables that would go into the actual pump, and it would look really, really bad for cable management. But now they have it to where I'm assuming some cables go in through here. Actually, I'm not even sure how this would work. There's probably cables that are funneled in as well through the tubes that actually go into the pump. And now the new plug-in is just right there. It's just easy as that. Oh my goodness, NZXT. I love to see it. They're only getting better, folks. Holy crap. Very, very, very cool. All right, so that is the actual pump, and then that's the cable, which makes a lot more sense now. I was wondering where this was gonna go on the motherboard, but now I know it goes into the actual pump. So yeah, this part would go into the pump right there, and then these parts will go to your motherboard and you know, other plugs. Very, very, very cool. I'm not going to take out the mounting accessories because I don't want to lose them, but yeah, we have those, and then we have the AMD and Intel kit right there. And now let's take a look at the single piece fan. Wow, very, very neat. So yeah, you'll only have to use 3 long screws this time, which I'm happy to hear, because you know, doing the full, like, I think it was 12 was absolutely an ordeal. It was an ordeal. And then there's just that plug right there. Shout out to NZXT. You know, I don't want to hype them up too much. It's not like I'm sponsored by them, but like I said previously, they're only getting better, folks. They're only getting better. All right. So yeah, that is everything that comes in this this box. You know, for that price, still pretty crazy, but you know, I'd say it's pretty gosh darn close to a reasonable price for this. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and cut to when I actually have this thing inside of a PC. And if you actually want to see me assemble this thing and actually show you how to put it in that PC, I'm gonna have the PC build that I'm about to show you linked down in the description below, so y'all can watch it for yourself. But yeah, let's go ahead and cut to this thing inside the computer. And here it is, folks, and must I say, it is looking breathtaking, and that cooler looks absolutely amazing. Whether it be the screen or the fans, it all came together so nicely with this build. And if must I say it, without the case, this thing is carrying. All right, without the case, this thing is definitely carrying. And that screen is absolutely, I don't know how to emphasize how clear that is. It's hard to focus on it because it's so shiny and breathtaking, but it's looking absolutely stunning, and I think it really does add a lot to this build. But yeah, guys, if you want to pick up that liquid cooler for yourself, I will have it linked down in the description below. And also, if you want to watch this build being built, I will also have a link to the video down in the description as well. But yeah, guys, that was going to be the end of the video. If you enjoyed, feel free to drop a like, comment, and subscribe, and peace out.